Hi dancers! Today I wanted to talk to you about Red Leotard Wednesday. It's something that goes on the Whole Dancer Instagram pretty much every single week. And I'm sure some of you are wondering what it's all about. I'll usually just hashtag Red Leotard Wednesday and say something like be bold and fearless and go after your goals today. But there is a backstory to Red Leotard Wednesday and I thought some of you might be interested, so I figured I would share about it. So when I was dancing professionally, the artistic director of the company hated red leotards. I don't really know why. I think one day he talked about it and he's just not a fan of red. So he hated red leotards. So because of that, most of the company, especially those in their first or second or third years, like myself, really avoided wearing red leotards, at least when he was around. Like obviously there were days when he was out of town or, just not around. So we would wear our red leotards those days, but would avoid them otherwise. And now I honestly had this one red leotard that I just loved. I thought it was really flattering. I loved wearing it. It made me feel good. But because he hated red, I don't think I wore it for years while I was there. I just wouldn't put it on because I didn't want to turn him off, even the smallest amount. So Red Leotard Wednesday came to be when I created the Whole Dancer, and I thought back to that scenario and kind of decided it was ridiculous. Being removed from something, it tends to be a lot easier to decide it's ridiculous. So I thought back on it and I decided it was ridiculous. And I really wished that I had just worn what I wanted to wear, because life is short and we shouldn't be doing things just to please others. Even in dance, as much as dancers, we need approval of artistic directors and we need to get the job, and you don't want to turn people off with whatever it might be. But if that thing, that thing that you're afraid might turn someone off is part of you, this is going a lot deeper, obviously, than a red leotard. But if, it's something that lights you up and gives you excitement and, brings your joy to dance, whatever it might be, then you should just do it and be who you are, no matter what that means. I think it's hard when we want to get a job and we're thinking like, oh, well, this might make them not want to hire me, but you want to find the place ultimately that accepts and nurtures and supports you when you're being your authentic self. That's true in jobs, dance jobs, it's true in relationships, it's just kind of true across the board. And that's something that it usually takes a while to learn. We don't necessarily discover that until later in life. And then we think back and think of all that wasted time trying to please everybody else. So that's the backstory on Red Leotard Wednesday. And I would definitely encourage you to be bold, be fearless, wear whatever it is that makes you feel, maybe it's something that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable or like too bold or too out there. Like if maybe wearing one of those leotards with mesh makes you like a little anxious or question if you should do it or not, like do it. Just because when you force yourself out of your comfort zone, you're going to see a whole new level that you probably didn't even think was possible, as far as boldness and confidence and, just putting yourself out there. And that's going to serve you as a dancer. It's going to serve you in auditions. It's going to help you to move forward. So whatever that thing is that you're like, oh, I can't do it, or I'm not sure if I feel confident enough to do that, even if it is going skirtless and, just wearing a leotard and tights, or even if it is wearing pink tights instead of black tights, maybe you've gotten used to wearing black tights, that's my jam. Go out and put on the pink tights and just like own it and see how it feels, and expose yourself to those things that make you a little bit uncomfortable. Because when you do that consistently, that's what's going to help you to move forward and be bold and be fearless and move forward in life and in dance in a very confident and positive way. So I would love submissions of you all in red leotards, feeling bold, feeling fearless, and I would love to share them on the Whole Dancer Instagram. So you can email them to me, jess@thewholedancer.com, or you can message me directly on Instagram @thewholedancer. I would just love to have more of you featured on those Red Leotard Wednesdays, and then you can share it with your friends that you've been featured. And even if you would go a little bit further and tell me what makes you feel powerful as a dancer and what helps you to step out of your comfort zone, I would love to share that in the post as well, so that it's not just a generic hashtag Red Leotard Wednesday, but something that has a little bit more depth to it and personality. Because I would, my joy really comes from supporting all of you, and that goes along with, sharing your most fun and fearless and exciting photos as well. If you have any further questions about Red Leotard Wednesday, don't hesitate to reach out. I always love hearing from all of you. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed hearing the backstory to Red Leotard Wednesday. Subscribe to The Whole Dancer on YouTube and join our mailing list over at thewholedancer.com/tips. Thanks again so much for tuning in, and I'll be in touch.